Hello and welcome back to Sharks Happen. I'm going to go over a recent attack. This attack happened yesterday. Today's Monday. It's yesterday, Sunday, the 23rd of 2024, and it was over near Goat Island, which is over off Molecahenna Beach in Hawaii. Tamayo Perry, he is 49 years old. He was out doing some surfing. It comes up to about 1 o'clock, and it said that a witness notified authorities they saw a gentleman they thought that was attacked by a shark out in the water. So they were able to get him and bring him into shore. He ended up passing away. He was pronounced dead at the scene. It sounds like he passed away out in the water. The fact that a witness had to point out that, he was attacked, you don't know how long he was out there before he was noticed that he had been attacked. And like I said, 49 years old. This is not just some, hobby surfer. This guy's been in movies, Blue Crush. He's been in Pirates of the Caribbean, probably doing surf scenes in these movies. He's been in Lost. He's been in a few TV shows. And he's a really good surfer, but it sounds like he was out surfing by himself. And this is why I'm doing this episode. Usually with these fresh attacks, I don't do these. I did one the other day because there was a few attacks that happened down in Florida, and I heard some experts saying that it was the same shark that did all three, which is just ludicrous to me. So I wanted to get it out there and tell people that, don't start freaking out about these shark attacks. This is when they're going to happen. It's warming out. We're in the water. It's going to happen. Over there in this situation, like I said, you go out there and you get attacked. You're on a surfboard. Surfers, swimmers, and divers barely see the shark. Rarely see the shark before it hits them. Surfers almost never do. Because they're coming at you from under the water. Your attention's on other things, looking for a wave, talking to your buddies, doing something. And you hear all about how these sharks just come up and hit these people. Some of them are the size of a bus, but they never see it until it's already clamping on their board, or on them and their board, or on them. So I wanted to get this out there and tell you, always be with somebody else. If you have buddies that are in the water, and yes, we've had attacks and even fatalities where their buddies were out in the water. We're going to go over one in a single attack episode I have coming up pretty soon on a surfer that was with his buddies, and they saw him go in, and it looked like he fell off his board, and then the waves were going up and down, and as they were brought up by the wave, they could see the shark kind of writhing and feeding on their buddy. They could see the buddy in their mouth was one of the reports. So we'll go over that on the next one, but if you have friends with you, at least you're going to get help right away. People are going to get notified right away. Usually the friends come over, which is the best thing, because that could chase the shark away. A lot of times people get there and the shark is still there, but it ends up leaving, and it usually leaves the people alone. And that goes for tigers, bulls, everything. People have gone out and saved these sharks. The one that I remember, I can't remember the name of the victim, but the people put him on a board, and there was 4 or 5 of them, and they were swimming him in, and the shark would swim right up to him trying to bite the victim, leaving all the people around the board swimming him in, and then they would leave their feet still when it would swim underneath the board down by their legs, and it never bothered them. So if you have somebody with you, then you're going to get help immediately. If you're out there by yourself, that might not be the case, and we don't know how long he was out there. Ben Linden is another one that went out surfing by himself, and I think he was out in the water for hours before they had realized that he was bitten by a shark, and he had passed away from his wounds. So it was 1 o'clock. Another witness said that Tamayo was bitten. It looked like he was bitten multiple times. So more than one bite would lead you to think probably a predation attempt or a predation, one of the two. But it's hard to tell because you're over in Hawaii. Tiger sharks are known for just taking an arm and going on their way, taking a bite out of you and going on their way. And it could be a fatal bite. The one gentleman that was just fishing off of his kayak, and he was bitten in the lower foot. And by the time they got him in, he had, bled out. Always have somebody with you when you're out there surfing. And other than that, you're just playing the numbers. I had looked and the story that my wife had given me. I want to thank John, our viewer John Peters. He had sent me this attack, so I want to thank him for that. But another story had said that they went through talked to the ISAF, so the International Shark Attack File, not the global, the international. And they had said that there was 120 attacks, 120 bite incidents with sharks last year in 2023. 40% of those, so over 40 of them, are on surfers. So 1 out of 3 bites are on surfers. So you're going to run into the sharks more, but I mean, it's in the name of what you're doing, surf. Surfers surf. Those sharks like to be in the surf because it gives them a little bit of, I guess, hiding from whatever they're trying to hunt. So, you know, all that splashing and frothing of the water helps them to attack things. So you're where they're going to be. So, you know, if you're surfing, you're going to run into them. And it doesn't matter whether you're over there off New Smyrna and you're running into black tips and spinners, or you're over there off of the west coast of U.S. and you're running into great whites, or you're over there in Hawaii and you're running into the tigers. You are going to run into them, and most surfers, I think, have seen sharks when they're in the water. I can't think that they haven't. My thought on this is sharks have seen us hundreds of times before we've seen them once. So I think sharks are well aware. These large sharks that we go over are well aware of what we are and what we do and why we're in the water. And a lot of times they want us out of the water, and sometimes they want to, you know, use us to sustain themselves so they can go out and continue to feed what they're supposed to. So that's the attack on Tamayo. We'll get this in a regular attacks show when we get all the information on the injuries, if they give them out. And until then, you know, always have somebody with you. And if you're going into that water, you and your friends are more afraid of these sharks than they are of you.